see how it's growing. These berries are growing in nicely. They'll be ready for the fawns in no time. They're coming for us.
Stop ignoring us, Fennis. We want to help.
What are we doing out here again?
This is where Octon found and broke the tablet. We'll perform the ritual here. Let me see. Fire shards, sap, and tablet pieces. Everything's in order. Oh yes, I almost forgot about the warning. Druid decorum requires that I fully disclose the potential dangers, no matter how unlikely, to any non-druids taking part in a complex and somewhat lethal ritual. So you must do exactly as I say. One wrong move and we could be afflicted with the same curse that has befallen Jocelyn and Octon. The odds of that happening are infinitesimal, but I feel obliged to warn you just the same. Now, are you ready to begin? Start by setting the fire shard ablaze. Good. Now, heat the sap. Now the most important step. Apply the heated sap to the broken tablet. Well done, my... Wait, why haven't they turned back? You performed the ritual perfectly. The curse should have been lifted. Jocelyn and Octon should be back to their old selves by now. Unless... Oh no. The word I was having trouble translating. I know what it means now. The tablet. The part I couldn't translate. Now that the tablet is whole, I see it. In fire and foliage born, what is broken, only one to restore. It rhymes better in Odritic. Don't you see? We can lift the curse, but only for one of them. I leave that to you. I must keep the power of the ritual flowing until a choice is made. Talk to both of them, then decide. Will we restore Jocelyn or Octon to their original forms?
Again. Why does Jocelyn look so glum? Oh, wait a moment. I remember. The ritual. Something went wrong, didn't it? I knew we wouldn't get out of this that easily. Only one? One what? Oh, that's not fair. I'm pretty sure neither of us wants to stay cursed. Well, if you can only choose one, you have to choose Jocelyn. She doesn't deserve to suffer because I made a mistake. Besides, this isn't so bad. Jocelyn? Is my cousin here too? Did I tell you she hates nature? Abhors it. And trees and flowers make her sneeze. Don't let her become a tree, friend. Please choose her.
What did the druid say? Only one of us can be saved? Why is this happening to us? We were just trying to earn a living. That's so unfair. I don't want to be a tree. Well, if only one of us can have our life back, I want you to choose Octon. He's too smart to let his mind turn to mush or light or whatever. Just don't tell him. I'm scared. Quick, please, save Octon too.
I cannot. The ritual has run its course.
What did you do? I told you to choose Octon. How could you make him stay like that? He's too smart and funny to spend the rest of his life as a signal flare. Oh, my poor cousin. How will I fix this? Ogden was the brains and... No, I'll figure something out. I have to. Here, I said I'd settle my debts and I meant it. You saved me and I do appreciate that. I'll find a way to do the same for Ogden. Somehow. What am I going to tell my aunt? And how am I going to keep Ogden from drifting away in a strong breeze? I'll have to get Druid Fennis to help. We'll work together and we'll figure something out. I'll fix Ogden. Somehow. Not on my own. I'm not a scholar or a mage, but with Druid Fennis to help me, we'll find a way to restore my cousin to his rightful form. Look, I know you were put into an impossible situation. Thanks again for making me not a tree. Luck won't be a factor. This is a job for skill. My skill as a procurer of things that aren't mine. And Druid Fennis' skill as a druid. I owe my cousin everything. This is my responsibility now, and I mean to live up to it. Ogden, I'll find a way to restore you. I swear it.
Maybe I should have joined the buoyant Armigers. This spot is even nicer than I expected. Let me check on the berries. Oh, these sure grew in nicely. No, look how happy Mohair is.
this much until I met you. nice little present from Vec, eh?
Younger fawns play up here. They'll love these berries. Yes! The fruit is starting to bud. How exciting! Let's regroup outside Fawn's thicket. Leave the herd to find the berries on their own.
Keep your guard up until you've got your footing.
Mohair is really excited. He kept running to each of the berry plants and back to me. I'm pretty sure there are more brambles in his fur than I've ever seen before. You made this little fawn very happy. And the herd too, I suspect. Did you hear that fawn's joyful bray? Happy fawns are hungry fawns, and they'll discover the plants soon enough. Once the berries become part of their diet, the wolves will leave them alone. Here, my purse isn't large, but you helped save this herd. Thank you again for your help. I can't abide preventable deaths, but now I won't have to imagine fawns like little Mohair here getting gobbled up by a hungry wolf. As safe as anything that lives in the wild can be. Mohair and I will come check on the herd every now and then to see how they're getting along. Plant a few more berries if necessary. No, the fawns and wolves need some time to settle in. If we stayed and observed, then I'd be more likely to intervene too early. We'll stay in the area, but I won't check on the herd for a while. Mohair will let me know if something goes wrong. He let me know when the herd was frightened of the wolves. I don't know if he caught a scent or if he heard the fawns call from far away. Fawns are miraculous creatures. Did you know they have magic? Huh, I learn something new about them every day. We were thinking about heading toward Vastir. There's always newcomers there to educate about fawns. Besides, it's been a while since we visited the Vine District, and there are some folks who'd love to see how big Mohair's getting. All right, Mohair. Want to say goodbye to the herd before we leave? I keep hoping he'll rejoin a herd, but he always comes back to me.
Tired of walking anyway.
Darkness stirs. Roots tremble. Druids gather. I am the nourisher. The sower. Needed?
I don't think that's wise, Free. I don't trust the Firesong.
Firesong. Pulsing, ripping, torn free from the ground. Blood in leaves. A memory. Friend of Laurel. I am free. Keeper, nourisher, sower, song of the green. The king spoke. Free became. Dream given form. Made real. Awakened too early. Unrest in the soil. Something is wrong. A song of hate blows through the branches. Harm drips like sap. It soaks the ground. Awakened to fire. Tremors. Volcano. Deadwood. Blood in the shadows. I am troubled. Rock. Root. Leaf. Brook. All dreams of the green. My kin. Spirits given form. We are. Purpose. Meaning. Now, a new purpose grows. Unwelcome change. King Kasserine called me from the green. A choice to be made. A moment. Waiting. Needed. My purpose is to be. Wait. Listen. Roots must find water before they drink.
Welcome to the Telling Stone, my friend. These runes tell the prophecy we call the Dream of Kasserine. Almost nothing survives from the time of the Druid King, but we have this, and now Free as well. A nature spirit, called from the green by King Kasserine and hidden with the weird in High Rock. They slept since the time of the last Druid King, until the Firesong Circle sent an Archdruid to find Free and awaken them. I probably know more about the Druid King than any other Druid alive, but so much remains a mystery. The Dream of Kasserine describes a mountain shaking and a sower awakening. I think it's talking about Mount Firesong and Free. So much has been lost, so I can only guess. Maybe Archdruid Orlaith believes the seeds must be united to make the prophecy come true? Until they end their violent ways, though, I plan to keep Free a secret. Let's go see what happens at the Drafa. The Drafa will begin soon. 3 Archdruids from each circle meet in a dell within the hills across the valley just to the south of here. We should make our way there. I don't want to miss anything. Someday a new Druid King will appear to take the Ivy Throne. Kasserine led our withdrawal from the mainland, but he also saw a day when Druids would once again take their place in Tamriel, for good or ill. The dream is a promise and a warning. Some Druids believe we're destined to bring a green renewal to Tamriel, to teach everyone to live in harmony with nature. Others fear a green scourge, when nature runs amok, and the tyranny of Druids takes hold. I think the dream is a metaphor. Kasserine was reminding us of where we came from. The day he describes will never come, but we should lead our lives as if it's close at hand. Make the right choices. Do the right things. That's how I see it. Hard to say. So much is open to interpretation. I think it warns of a usurper who claims the kingship by force and treachery. It may be related to the end of Kasserine's rule. I found one reference to an all-weather death cult active at that time. Kasserine was the last of the Druid Kings. In an age long past, he led our people from High Rock to Galen. They hoped to find a land where Druids could live in peace and follow Ifre's teachings as they understood them. He chose no successor before he died. Instead, Kasserine recognized the three circles and told them to govern themselves, together, in peace. And so the Dreyfa, the Council of Druids, came into existence. The Dreyfa has guided us ever since. Someday a new Druid king will appear to take the Ivy Throne.
The Dreyfa awaits. Come, friend. Let's see what the Firesong Circle has to say for itself.
But now I'm going to.
The day is upon us. The Dreyfa must crown a new Druid king.
Perhaps. But you have no right to claim the sacred seeds by force.
You hide your seeds and keep the sower of Kasserine's dream for yourself. You declared this war, not the Firesong.
No Druid King can be crowned until the Circles are united. The Telling Stone is quite clear.
This Dreyfa is a sham. If I must burn away the old to reveal the new, so be it!
Or
Orlaith killed most of the Dreyfa. She's getting away!
Laurel, wait! Damn. I'll go after her. Fred, protect the remaining Archdruid.
Teach these snakes a lesson, mate!
Don't panic! We can do this!
Thank you, Maylander. Now, go help Laurel and Stefan.
Go on! I'll keep watch here.
Mount Firesong senses it too.
Laurel! Save yourself!
Stefan!
Mainlanders should not meddle in Druid affairs. Deal with them, Brenna.
Get back, you fetcher!
Dead, outsider!
You defeated my champion? No matter. Tell Count Mornard to stay out of this, or his son's life is forfeit.
The Elder Tide will make Orlaith answer for this outrage.
She has young Stefan. We must tread carefully, yet, thanks to this Mainlander, we still live.
We must inform Count
Orlaith
Mornard.
was going to take me,
I
but
will
Stefan
tell Archdruids
intervened.
what to do.
He put himself in danger to save me and protect my circle. We need to tell Count Mornard what happened, and then we have to help Stefan. Archdruid Orlaith never intended the Dreyfa to judge her actions. Root and rot. She only agreed to come so she could have the Dreadsails kill the Archdruids. She meant to leave the Stone Lore and the Elder Tide crippled and without their leaders. So I see. Thank you. That was more good than I could do. I chased after Orlaith and ran directly into her hands. Worse yet, I brought Stefan right to her. Now the Firesong Circle has a hostage. I don't know, but Count Mornard will be furious. Archdruid Orlaith might demand the sacred seeds in exchange for Stefan. Or she could make House Mornard stand down until her allies collect the seeds for her. This is bad.
Had to sit down. The ground's all wobbly beneath me. Damn volcano.
These sea elf pirates become more brazen every day. When is House Mornar going to do something?
The House Report never has these problems on the island.
That's not entirely true. There are those incidents with the Ascendant Order.
I can't believe the Firesong betrayed us. Attacking the Drafa. How will that bring the circles together?
The Firesong will answer for this crime, Galfin. By House Mornard's honor, this I so swear.
I don't want vengeance, Feda. I don't want more death. I just want my friends back.
And now my son is in their clutches? We should have left these foolish druids to their squabbles.
Ignoring someone doesn't mean they'll ignore you. We need the Elder Tide and the Stone Lord to meet this threat, and save your son.
Dulef tells me you played no small part in repelling the dread sails and foiling an attack on the Druid Council, mercenary. Has the Firesong Circle truly made an alliance with the hated Sea Elves? All this trouble over druidic nonsense? And it led to the deaths of 4 archdruids? Unbelievable! But I wouldn't expect Sea Elf pirates to bother with an alliance that doesn't pay in plunder. What does Sea Lord Nalos get out of all this? Typical. A druid who doesn't believe in property generously giving away something that doesn't belong to her. When last I looked, I ruled Galen. Did Archdruid Orlaith say what she wants from me as a price for keeping my son alive? I had no interest in druid quarrels until she threatened my son. Bah! Stefan warned me something dangerous was afoot. I should have listened. Here. House Mornard always pays its debts. There's more to come if you continue to aid us, mercenary. I refuse to let Galen's enemies dictate my actions. Yet I dare not move directly against the Firesong Circle, or their Dreadsail's friends, as long as they're holding Stefan hostage. What say you, mercenary? Ready to earn some more House Mornard gold? I don't trust Archdruid Orlaith to spare my son, even if she gets everything she wants. I will instruct my knights to stand down. Let her think I am paralyzed by this threat. Meanwhile, we secretly work to save Stefan from the Firesong. While Archdruid Orlaith sees my knights doing what she demanded, nothing. I want you to find Stefan and set him free. Dulef says the Stone Law and Elder Tide Archdruids are here in the city. Get them to tell you where Stefan is being held. I'm counting on you, mercenary. Save my son, and you can name your price. Duluth says Revol and Elec are by the bridge east of Vastir. Talk to them. They know parts of Galen no one else has even seen. They must have an idea where to find Stefan. While the Firesong call Ifilon home, I suspect Orlaith will keep him close until she acquires the seeds from the other druid circles. He could be on a Dreadsail ship, but I doubt the Firesong would trust their allies with such precious cargo. Respect? Perhaps not. But I left them mostly alone to practice their ancient religion. My biggest problem with them, before the current crisis, was their insistence to hold on to the past. Bretons need to embrace modern ways if we're going to thrive. Yes, but we used to control so much more. My father was the Duke of the Sisters. When he supported King Rancer in his war against the High King, Emmerich took the ducal title and awarded it to House Dufort. An unjust and harsh penalty, in my opinion. A hard question, but a fair one. My house has always found it wiser to let the druids take care of their own affairs. Most of them dislike us as it is. Imagine their resentment if Mornards took sides in all their petty disputes. I blame his mother. Visel took an interest in druid teachings when she came to Galen. She shared that interest with our son. When Visel died, well, I could not forbid something Stefan had shared with his mother. While the Firesong call Ifilon home, I suspect Orlaith will keep him close until she acquires the seeds from the other druid circles. He could be on a Dreadsail ship, but I doubt the Firesong would trust their allies with such precious cargo. Respect? Perhaps not. But I left them mostly alone to practice their ancient religion. My biggest problem with them, before the current crisis, was their insistence to hold on to the past. Bretons need to embrace modern ways if we're going to thrive.
I don't know. I think I'd rather do kitchen work.